Okay, Aaron Wood, cartoonist, as opposed to Aaron Wood, botanist. Nyuk, nyuk, nyuk. Aaron Wood, cartoonist, says, I'm working on the next Please Hold. I've got one I bet he hasn't gotten in a while, but I'm trying to make the scope of my interest as concise as possible. Not easy for me, laugh out loud. And Matt interjects at that point, we'll return to him, but that's all the 4-week-old questions. I did say that the cutoff was when I sent the fax. Nobody listens to me. Oh, no, it's true. No. It's true. If you say this is the cutoff, you're just about guaranteed that whatever the cutoff was. Have you gotten anything since the cutoff?
I didn't look today. Yesterday I didn't. I was kind of, but then I went back and looked at the original post, and I swear it said the cutoff is. And I looked at it and went, no, I didn't say that at all. I just if you got a question, put it here. And you would think that by the 5th year of doing this, I'd figure out that hey, maybe I should tell people there's a deadline.
If you give them a date, maybe they'll get it in on time, or maybe they won't. I mean, none of these things are guaranteed. Now to the stuff that's not from November. Joe Gabbard asked, is it okay if I announce my book I pitched and will be working on for the foreseeable future? Due to my health, I want to get the word out about it. Joe's just out of the hospital. When I phoned him to say, okay, here's what I can do on this. It's like this is really good timing. I'm in the hospital. It's like, how long have you been in? It's like he's been in since Wednesday. I think I phoned him on a Friday, and he was still in until on Monday. So I'm hoping that Joe's all squared away. Then you write, I told him you sent me stuff, and I ended up announcing something on Emic. So here's another one that answered itself. Yay! Yeah, we're very fond of that. Was there any reaction to it? Did you post all of the stuff that I sent you?
Yeah. Everything you had sent me, I ended up posting. I had asked Joe, okay, is there anything you want to add to this? He's like, no, that's good. And I'm going, okay. What I have from Dave is this is what the project is, but it doesn't really give the scope or anything of that. But now every Sunday on Facebook he's planning on posting, something of not everything he got done in the previous week, but just, here's a tease of where I'm at and what I'm working on. He sent me, I think, his original page 1 and said, for your eyes only. I'm like, okay, well, I won't run it. But, I get to see it, so, that's one of them, what do you call them? Perks.
That's right. That's what we call a job perk around here. It was definitely a situation where I got, he left the phone message, and I did call him back and ask him, okay, can you give me a little more information on this? Because I didn't know what grand design was. I guess Jim Rugg and the kayfabe guys did a grand design of Spider-Man or something?
Ed Piskor did X-Men, and it was a 2-issue series. Oh, I think right. 2 issues came out, and it was kind of nebulous if they were going to do more or if he was just doing the 2. And it basically... Because I read it was an oversized Treasury edition. It was Treasury edition sized, which was a great format for the concept. And it's kind of a look back from X-Men 1 up through the new X-Men. I think the second issue, I think he gets into the death of Phoenix. Like, he goes that far. And
right. Then
Jim Rugg did a Hulk one that was 2 issues that was regular comic size. And I believe there might be more going. It basically it's summarizing 100 or 200 issues of a series in, I'd say, 48 pages maybe. Maybe it was
Right.
48 pages an issue, so it's twice that. And my buddy who bought the X-Men one and lent it to me, we both agreed it was pretty good. He didn't like the Hulk one. I'm like, but it's the Hulk. How can you not like the Hulk? And he's like, just trust me. And I was reading it. I'm going, I see. Towards the end of the second issue, he gets into the Peter David Todd McFarlane stuff, and it just kind of peters out to, he got as far as he wanted to summarize, and okay, I'm done now. And
Right.
And you, the reader, are going, but like, there's a whole bunch that happen. I mean, there's a lot going on. Are you sure you want to stop here? And you kind of feel like, is it he ran out of room? Did editorial say, hey, the first one didn't sell really good, we're not going to do a third one? Because it's Marvel. You know that there's a bean counter in there somewhere going, why are we publishing this?
Right. Right.
Some people have because Joe's put stuff on Facebook, and people have commented on Facebook about the service grand design of, you should choose this or that. I said, really, it should be service interviewing service about the Roach.
Right.
Because having seen the materials, I've gone, there's a lot of humor to be had in service interviewing service, but then talking about stuff that isn't service, and and everybody kind of looks around like, okay, where's this going?
Yeah, I mean, while I was doing the stuff that I was doing on it, I was definitely thinking this would be fun. Like I could picture doing this or doing parts of this. But I'm doing Strange Death of Alex Raymond, and I'm 67 years old. But the difference between Dave Sim and Marvel and DC, or Marvel in this case, is if somebody else wants to do it. If you see what Joe is doing, and you go, that's interesting, but that's not what I would do. I would do something like this. You can go ahead and do it. It's like I haven't sued anybody, and I'm not going to start with you, whoever you are, on something like that. Joe said, I asked him how long he pictured it being, and he said probably not much more than 100 pages. In which case I went, okay, well, depending on how long it takes you to do it, it is possible that it could be done as Service in Hell with a question mark, 4 issues, or whatever. Every time you get one done, it gets slotted into the lineup, which is what we're doing now. We're not on the monthly schedule anymore. It's just as soon as an issue is done, you're the next guy that's going to Kickstarter this and do variant covers and solicit it through Diamond, and then there'll be another guy after you. So he was certainly willing to entertain that, and it's like now that we're in the situation that we're in, if we Kickstarter it and it only sells 20 copies or something like that, well, that's fine. We can get Alfonso to print 20 copies, and this is how much each one costs. And Joe can sign them, I can sign them, and we send them out to everybody. And Joe's got his own copies of his Cerebus Grand Design. It's like everybody's going to have a different take on it. Any grand design on any character would be inherently interesting, but definitely not something that, as you say, the bean counters would be too fond of. No, we don't want 15 different guys each doing a Hulk grand design, and we keep throwing it at the wall to see if any of these are going to stick. Although the odds are pretty good that maybe like the 5th or 6th one, you would come up with a classic that you just wouldn't be able to print them fast enough.
Well, I think Roach Grand Design would be the one that would be Oh yeah, that'll be great. But of course, it comes down to it has to be a completely different concept than the Tonight Show because it wouldn't, it wouldn't necessarily work.
Yeah, and it's if you want to do that.
Oh no, Dave.
Knock yourself out, man.
No, Dave. I've even given up using the phrase "my ha free time." At this point, I have one project that someone gave me money for that it's on the board of, okay, you're going to have to buckle down, find the time and buckle down and get this done. And then there's another project that's been, I haven't been dating it because if I dated it, it's just going to make me cry. But that's my next, okay, you need to get this done. And then I keep telling myself, you are not allowed to start anything of, oh yeah, I'll add this to the pile. No. The pile needs to either get knocked down or you need to admit defeat and I'm sorry, but you're never going to get whatever it was I promised you. And of course, the next day at work, my brain goes, it'd be kind of interesting to do a comic book series about a superheroine who gets pregnant and it's a real world pregnancy type thing of yes, she's a superhero, but you can't go out and fight Dr. Doom when you're pregnant. And
I think a lot of women would disagree with you on that.
Well, see, I'm married to a nurse that worked in labor and delivery, and I heard enough horror stories to know that Paula's cousin got pregnant and got put on bed rest for 5 months.
Right.
Because she was at high risk, and they said you can sit in bed, you can get up and go pee, but then you have to go back to bed. And she was going insane because and she's calling Paula. Well, what do I do? What do I do? And it's like you lay in bed. That's all you do. Read a book, watch TV, have your meals delivered by the father. I mean and I'm going. It's an interesting concept, and my brain keeps turning it over, and it's like, yeah, but that's like the 8th superhero series that I've thought of that I went, that's an interesting concept, I want to do it. And it's like, maybe when I retire in 20 years.
Right.
So
maybe you could get Paul to write it. No, it was I had the same experience with writing Spider-Vark because I did have the point where Cerebus was going to out-feminist the feminists, and by having an encyclopedic knowledge of all of the ins and outs of pregnancy and things that can go wrong, and researching that online, it's yikes. It's like a bottomless list, and each one of them subdivides into other subdivisions with compound names, and it's this is in the 21st century. It's they haven't even I would say they've gone past the point of scratching the surface, but they definitely haven't hit bottom on it. And I'm sure Paula would back me up on that, since she has the lived experience day after day.
Yeah, like I said, it popped in there of, in my mind, it's an analog of She-Hulk because, you want the big, strong, tough woman who ends up pregnant, and it's A, does she want to keep it? B, can she keep it? And my brain's going, oh yeah, and I'm coming up with analogs of other heroes and mashing stuff together, and I'm like, oh, this will be great. And I'm like, yeah, I can see it'd be 10, maybe 12 issues. It'd be a nice little graphic novel. And then I go, hey, you're at work. You actually stopped moving for 3 minutes thinking about this. You need to get back to work, buddy. You're not gonna get to go play Dime Store Stan Lee now. You can think about that later.
And you have to learn to just let those things go. And as you say, pick your spots and say, this is what I'm actually working on. If that stray thought comes into my head, no. Or as I did with Joe, I read the 11 pages that he sent me, a good 4 or 5 times, and then just started analyzing it. Just started going, okay, where do I break ranks with this, and where do I go? Okay, if this is my project, this is what I would do with it, and just get it down to one day's work, and go, Joe, here you go. This is more than I had when I started Cerebus. John Lennon's Revolution 9. Take this, brother. May it serve you well.